and collaboration. Self-interaction and collaboration.
Social collaboration
Oh,
is
social
interaction.
collaboration? Oh, yeah.
Right?
I said self-reflection, ain't that the one?
Yep, self-reflection is the last one.
Experience.
Well, I never mind one.
Social collaboration. I want to say it's not as important as knowing what they are.
Okay.
And the last one was self-reflection. So if you got this one, you would need to define what all of these are, and then maybe your example would be about one of them. How you have seen it in yourself, or a personal example, and then say why it relates back to the definition. And your citation is right there, Cusio 2008. Okay, so do we know what these all mean? Are they in your notes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so do we need to go over them, or do we feel like we can look at these in our notes and study them? And we may not have them.
Can we just go over them?
Sure, let's go over them quick. So what is the active involvement related to?
Peer.
What was it? No, that was the social collaboration. You've got the right idea.
Getting help?
Yep, the getting help. It was the active involvement wasn't related to like actively get involved in the CJ club, but it was more related to learning. So if you're actively involved in your learning, what are you doing? What were we doing for today to get involved?
Learning.
What was that, Jane? Coming to the study group, but then what were you doing before the study group? Are you just showing up?
Oh,
You're going over your stuff. You're preparing, exactly. So, what was that?
Discussing?
Yes, like talking in class, being part of the discussions, things like that. So active involvement relates to your learning. What are you doing to prepare and be involved? Are you asking questions in class? Are you taking notes? Are you involved in the discussions? Are you reading before you come to class? All of those things. And this is what you need to do for all of your classes, is what this one refers to. What about the campus, utilizing campus resources?
Ex-questions like faculty members and stuff.
Yep, there's two parts. Get help,
Oh, this is the
which is how could you get help like on Marion campus?
learning center.
Learning center,
Library.
library, writing center. You said going to your teacher directly. Yes, that's what those are. And what was the other one? Co-curricular. So what's co-curriculars?
Like clubs, sports.
Yes, clubs, sports, intramurals, all the above, not drinking and partying, co-curricular, constructive co-curricular activities here on campus. Robert, you could do that in moderation, 21, but no, not for your classmates. So then there was, what's the next one? Jade, this is where you've got your P2Ps. Your social collaboration. Yep, peer-to-peer. So this is who you're collaborating with, who you're socializing with, right? Yep. Peer to faculty or staff. And what's the last one? Yep. So there's a lot involved in this one. You know, if you pick this one on the test, there is a lot involved. But if you know it, you can write it down. You don't have to go into super in-depth. You just have to get your stuff down here and then get your example and relate it back. And then, what's the third one? Self-reflection. Asking questions and connecting? Is that for the self-reflection? Like asking questions of who?
I thought that was always more collaboration.
Oh.
Feedback.
Feedback, yep.
Self-monitoring. And self-assessment.
Yep, exactly. So this self-reflection is kind of like the hardest thing to understand because you have to be willing to take feedback when Jen says, here's your grade, this is what you can improve on. You're self-reflecting on it and improving on it. And it's hard to self-monitor. It's hard to look back at your day, your week, your month and be like, did I do good? Was I a good student this month? Was I a good friend this month?
And you like taking criticism?
yes, the feedback is taking criticism, taking it constructively, and then your self-assessment is you're tweaking, what are you doing? What are you doing to make yourself better? So that is all in the self-reflection, which I would say is probably the hardest of these.
So that peer stuff is self-reflection?
Nope, that goes with social collaborations. So who are you socially collaborating with? You know, your peer-to-peer, so your friends, your roommates, the people in your co-curriculars, your peer to faculty and staff, that's, are you connecting with your teachers? It kind of relates to the utilizing campus resources, because are you having a relationship with them so that if you need help, you can get help? And your peer-to-student leader / student mentor, that's us, that's your RAs, that's everybody who you can look up to. It's upperclassmen who are going to help you with any of those. So does this kind of make a little bit of sense? So this is what, if I were studying for this test, and Mark did a couple years ago, this is what I would do for every single one of those terms. I would go through, find it, cite it, just write your little citation up to the side, and then write about it. Because if you're writing about it, you're going to remember, and you're going to then be able to go back and study it. So instead of having to read through all of your notes and getting confused, if you write out just like a big study guide for yourself, you can just look at those, and it'll be what you need to look at. Does that make sense? Okay, so what are some other ones that confuse you? We can't go through all of them entirely, but we can.
Well, for the speeches, when do we have to write, like, you know how it's the arrows that go around? And then do we have to write, like, how it's
Right.
like, so for, like, how there's an example of your state and then an example of your do, everything has to adapt.
What page are you looking at?
6.
Okay, yep, and see, those are examples. So you can make your own example. I would not use this one directly from the book. That would not be good. You don't want to cite, when you're doing your citations, you don't want to write word for word. Don't
No,
spend your
I
time.
mean, like, I would just have to do examples like that, though.
Yeah, you could do example like that. You could explain what seed you get is and then say an example. She definitely wants the example to be about yourself in first person. No second person. No yous. No yours. No, don't do that. Plus, if you all don't do that, you get 5 extra points on your test. But everybody has to do it. So don't do it for yourself. Don't do it for your classmates. Don't do it. So yeah, you could do an example. When I see this, I do this, and then this is my result. Okay. Questions? More questions on section 1? Drew? How you doing? I threw one at you. You got it? Okay. Did you guys have a question before about what ones are going to be on there? Or just that they're not all going to be on there, so don't just study one?
Let's study like 1, 2, 3, 4.
So who can tell me what the T times I, K plus S plus E equals ST?
Okay, talent, time.
Talent is a great knowledge
Wait,
and skills.
Yep, and where'd that come from?
The ability to
The what?
Common hour.
The common hour? Who taught that common hour?
back then.
Was it Rebecca?
Oh,
No.
man, right?
No?
what was the lady?
This lady. Oh.
Was it a sister?
Yes. What is your first name?
Marie?
Nope, that's close.
Sister Deb.
Sister Deb, thank you, Robert.
Deb.
So,
There we go.
if you're citing this, you'd be citing Sister Deb, and you'd also be citing, most likely, what is the name of the company that the strengths come from? Thank you, Christian. It's Gallup. G-A-L-L-O-P. Gallup. So that's. What?
It's UP.
Oh. UP.
Like, why she say that?
That's why she's here, you guys. She's amazing. Oh, just so you guys know, this is Kelsey hanging out in the back here. She's not a random person. Well, kind of. Whatever. She is my roommate and another student mentor. And she got suckered into coming. Okay.
She's a good roommate.
What?
She's a good roommate.
She's a good roommate. She is a good roommate. She never's late on her bills. Doesn't care if we don't pay her rent. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so that's those. More questions on these. Individual questions.
Okay, what does the T What would be for your status, talent,
Talent, time, person, time, knowledge.
investments, parentheses, knowledge, plus skills, plus percentage, equals six. One just wanted to like boss.
Alright, well then I'm gonna move on to the next one. If you guys come, while you're studying these, I'm getting the feeling that not everybody went through the study guide ahead of time. So if when you're going through this before Wednesday, you have questions, you can email me, email each other. You guys are great resources. You know who is going out and saying, I know this one, let me answer it for you. Email your friends, email me, you can email Jen, and so we'll go to section 2 unless there are any last pressing questions about these terms.
Creator versus victim.
Okay, do we remember when we talked about that?
Wait, what, which one?
The creator versus victim language. It was a day in class. Yeah?
So I'm going through all my notes, like, I don't see.
I don't know.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's related to the local
Oh, I just said
person. It was Friday on the 21st, if you guys ever noticed it.
It's like,
It's like victim, it's like you're like,
the victim is the one that makes excuses.
you know,
Oh,
weaknesses,
Oh.
like you're giving up.
Yep. In our notes, it looks kind of like this, and we have different examples of victim versus creator language. Do you have that? It was
How
on
do we
Friday
cite that? Do we
21st.
say like, how do we cite that one?
Cite that one. Kelsey? Would that be just, did Jen just lecture on it, or would we just say,
For anything minor about it?
maybe so?
She lectured on him.
Yeah, she lectured,
Whether Jen does or does not talk about something, or do we start from one?
yes, okay. Let us look where we talked about that. Friday the 21st. And for that, the personal choice, no, there's no preparation reading and no assignment due that day. If there's no prep reading, I'm assuming that there's nothing in the binder about it. Okay, Kelsey is going to look and get back to us on that. Okay, but as of right now, stick with the figure lecture. Okay, so, any other questions? Otherwise, if you have individual questions that Kelsey and I are hanging around afterwards, we can talk about them. How long is this? Until people want to leave.
All night, you guys.
All night, except for, I have to study for 4 tests this week, so.
Yeah.
Section 2.
It's funny how you don't worry.
What?
It's funny how you don't worry about your test.
Am I good at hiding it?
Yeah, you're pretty good at it.
Okay, well then, that's what we're gonna go. You guys have to understand something, my nursing classes are all on Mondays and Tuesdays. I don't have any classes on Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays except for our class, which might seem really awesome, except for when we have 4 tests in 1 week, they're all in 2 days. So.
Jeez.
So are you doing clinicals right now?
How
Excuse
are
me.
they?
You're fine. Right now I'm in one that's on Friday mornings, which is why I'm here Friday afternoons. Actually, starting after fall break, I will no longer be here Fridays during the day because I have clinical 6 to 6. So
6 in the morning to 6 p.m.
yes,
Oh my.
yes, but I get 2 credits for that clinical, so pretty
What
good.
do you do in clinicals?
Lots of stuff. We work with patients, depending on the. Okay, so like right now I'm in psych clinical, so we're at the mental health unit. And we interact with the patients, we do games, excuse me, things like that. When we go to the med-surg clinical, we'll watch surgeries, we'll take care of patients who just got out of surgery, we'll take care of the patients that are going into surgery. When we're in OB clinicals, we'll be with OB nurses, helping deliver, well, pretty much watching and, doing a lot of paperwork, but, delivering babies, taking care of the babies, taking care of the moms that are, been there for 24 hours and still can't give labor, like it happens. That's kind of this. On a side note, I'm going to stop.